Hey everybody, this is Daryl of Big Bang Toys, Comics, and Games, and guess what? It's New Comic Wednesday. It's August 20th, 2014. There's a lot of awesome books coming out today. Up first, I'm just going to go straight into it. I gotta say, I'm excited about independent comics. Nothing against DC and the New 52, but I gotta tell you, if it was better, I probably wouldn't be reading independent books. Sorry, Dan Didio and Jim Lee, but also, thank you. But, with that said, I'm just kidding. DC's not all bad, but let's get... Independent books are awesome. 3 books you want to try this week. Actually, they're called Image First. They're actually $1 books. Walking Dead #1, and you'll see it on your screen, whichever way I'm pointing at over here. You'll see it on your screen. Walking Dead #1. Don't freak out. It's not a first print. But if you ever wanted to try Walking Dead and you got $1 in your pocket, you say, "Hey, I want to read a comic." You want to read this book. And also, there's Lazarus #1 by Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka, well known for his Batman run back in the day, or Detective Comics, and but in his DC work, and obviously I believe he's worked at Marvel as well. But anyway, Lazarus #1. You want to try this book. And also Morning Glories by Nick Spencer. Nick Spencer is one of my favorite writers because he writes the awesome book, The Superior Foes of Spider-Man, which, by the way, I hear is coming to an end around November or December. It's coming to its final conclusion. But anyway, try Morning Glories. All 3 books are just $1. I'll say it again, $1. And then also, let's go straight to DC Comics. What's something you want to check out? Well, you want to check out Multiversity #1 by Grant Morrison. Now, regardless of what you think of the DC New 52, I'm going to hold my tongue, but regardless of what you think of the DC New 52, this book is probably going to be a must-read book. A lot of people, Grant Morrison, they'll read his stuff and they're like, man, where is he going with this? By the time you get to the end, it all makes sense. At least it's my take. Because I hear a lot of people are like, man, Grant Morrison, whoa. But I'm telling you, Multiversity is a book you're not going to want to miss. Try this book. It's a new copy. Get it today. Also, Sensation Comics featuring Wonder Woman #1. Now, it was a digital first book. Now it's in print. If you want to check out Wonder Woman, read a great story. It's written by Gail Simone. She is great with female characters. Check out Sensation Comics featuring Wonder Woman #1. And I think that's it for DC. Let's get back to independence, where we belong. I want you to try out, there's a couple #1s I want you to try out. Take a look at it. #1, The Fade Out by Ed Brubaker. Now, it's back in 1950s television. There's a death, but all I'm going to say is Ed Brubaker is one of the greatest writers. If you've seen that superhero movie, the Captain America the Winter Soldier, a lot of that's because of his Captain America run. So, but this is more of like crime noir. You want to check out this book, give it a shot. And I believe it's for mature readers only, so keep that in mind. But it's Ed Brubaker. Check it out. Also, The Strain. You may have heard of a show called The Strain, Guillermo del Toro. Well, the final comic book, Strain, The Night Eternal, is coming out. It's #1. It's the final part of the Strain trilogy. New #1 came out today. If you're following the book, you want to check out this book. If you just want to get a taste of it, or you're watching the show, either way, it'd be a great time to jump on it. And then you can also, order trade paperbacks from us or graphic novels. You can catch up with whatever you've missed. Also, The Delinquents #1 from Valiant Comics. You take Quantum and Woody and Archer and Armstrong and you put them in a book. All I know is you're probably going to have some awesome chemistry, some interesting interactions. You want to try Delinquents #1 from Valiant Comics. Also, you have Justice Inc. #1. You got Doc Savage, The Shadow, and I believe let me look behind me, and The Avenger in one book. It's written by Michael Uslan. Check it out. Also, a couple books I just want to throw out. Honorable mentions. Dark Horse Presents featuring Big Guy and Rusty the Robot. You may remember a cartoon in the 90s about Big Guy and Rusty the Robot. Yeah, Frank Miller and Jeff Darrow. Yeah, check it out. They actually have a return story this week in Dark Horse Presents. No ads, and it's $4.99. Book I want you to try, Supreme Blue Rose, written by Warren Ellis. If you ever heard of the Image Comics character created back in the 90s, Supreme, he was basically Rob Liefeld's or Image Comics' version of Superman back in the day. But with a twist. Alan Moore had an epic run. In fact, some of those comics are hard to find. They were by Awesome Entertainment. Anyway, Supreme Blue Rose. Some of the most awesome art I've ever seen in any book by Tula Lotay. And it's written by Warren Ellis. Warren Ellis, his Moon Knight run was awesome. You need to read that book. But anyway, Supreme Blue Rose. Check it out. And lastly, from Marvel, Magneto. If you want to know what's going down with Axis, you're going to want to read Magneto. It's all going to begin there. You've got the Red Skull coming up in the storyline. The Red Skull, if you've been reading Uncanny Avengers, he has part of Charles Xavier's brain, and you've got the Red Skull and Axis. If you're looking forward to Axis, you're going to want to start reading in Magneto. You've got the Red Skull, who has dissected part of Professor X's brain, using it for his own power. If you've been reading Uncanny Avengers, it's in there. And you've got Magneto. Charles Xavier was his best friend. You've also got Magneto, who is in concentration camps in World War II, the character. And you have the Red Skull. So, all I can say, this is going to be an epic showdown. Marvel is saying this is going to be a big deal. This is going to be an interesting storyline. Check that out. Also, we got Daredevil number 7. Daredevil, this is part 2 of his original Sin tie-in. And he's finding out why his mom left his dad, and suddenly there's a memory that's come back because of what happened with the Watcher and the orb and the eyeball in the Marvel Universe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to read Original Sin and any of the spin-offs. They're great books. But this is part 2 of what's going down, why his mom left, who his dad really was. Does he remember his dad correctly? Is his dad the man he thought he was? Check it out. Lastly, I've got Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. This is the last issue of the miniseries, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, number 4. You might want to check out this book. Shang-Chi, by the way, creator of Shang-Chi, and Star-Lord of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Kilowog, and a number of other characters. Steve Englehart will be here this Saturday. You don't want to miss it. 10:30 to 12. Visit BuyBigBang.com to purchase VIP packages or the Star-Lord autograph special, which you're going to save money if you register early before you get to the door. Anyway, that's it for new comics this week. Go read some comics, try something new, and don't forget, we got 'em.